Hi, welcome to the Paddock Diary page, or the Paddock Details page if you like. This is where you will come to get an overview of any particular paddock as well as make changes to that one specific paddock. As always, if you have just a specific question and don't want to watch the entire video, if you press on the title of this video, that will take you to our YouTube channel where you can see in the description below of this video timestamps and then what I talk about at each of those. So if you click on the timestamp, it will take you straight to that part of the video where I answer that specific question. And as always, if you scroll over this video, you will see a little button at the bottom that says CC. For those users who need to watch my videos with subtitles, there are subtitles available to you. That CC button will turn them on and off. I will go over first the buttons that we have at the top, how they work. This information here, I'm going to do things a little bit out of order, so I'm going to do crops and then all of the agronomic information down here, how that works, where it comes from, and then I will finish with the merge, split, and edit shape functions. The way that, this up at the top works, so back to Paddocks page, obviously takes me back to the main Paddocks page where I have my map of my farm. The previous paddock and next paddock buttons, if I press those, I can navigate between paddock details pages. So if I press previous paddock, takes me to east paddock. If I press next again, it will take me to east square, which is the paddock that I started with and the one that I want to work on. These season buttons, so there's a difference, and just an important difference between these seasons and this season up here, this drop down here. Basically, if you press on these, that will change the season only for this paddock details page. So you can easily click these seasons and compare this particular paddock's season. It will not change the rest of the agronom. So if I navigate to any of these pages, it will stay the season that's selected up here. If I change it up here, it will change it throughout the agronom. And if I go to any of these pages, it will stay in whatever season I've selected here. So this is the one up here that does all of the agronom. This one down here, only the paddock details page. These four buttons here, delete permanently and events, are admin tools. You won't see those on your screen. Archive will remove the paddock from your planning, but it'll still be there for you if you need it for record keeping or producing reports, whatever it is. It'll still be there. It'll just won't show up in your map, in your tasks, and so forth. XLS, if I press that, it will download a spreadsheet of everything that is on this page. This information here, so paddock name and number, this are things that you assign. Array number, I'm not going to mention now. If you need help with the array number, get in touch with our customer support. And then the thing that I really do want to mention that's important is this area. I mentioned this in the video where I talked about drawing a new paddock. That's the video that accompanies the main paddocks page where the map is. Basically, the system calculates the area automatically, either from the shapefiles that you upload or the maps that you draw of your paddocks. It may well be wrong, so if you know better than the system, put the area in here. Just by clicking that, open that, you can change it. And you'll probably, if you're a new user, you've just uploaded everything, you'll probably want to do this for past, present, and future, so it's complete. But if you add the area in here, it won't change the shape on the map. So it'll affect the way that the calculations get done. You want to make sure that you have the right area in there for eAgronom for it to tell you how much of certain spraying products you need for certain tasks, but it won't change the map here. So that's important. If you have good information for the area that's better than what the system calculates, put it in there manually. Again, I'm going to skip these for now. I'll come back to them shortly. The crops down here, so this you'll select from the crops page. So if I press on this, it will actually take me to the crops page. And the planned yield here, I can select from here. You'll probably be working with that in the planned yields tab, which is in the crops page. So basically this is something that will come here so that you have it, but you'll actually make changes in the crops page, although you can change them here. This straw biomass action, depending on what you have left over from the prior season, what's on the biomass that's on the paddock now, you can change that. So it defaults to only roots left in soil, but depending on what you have, you might want to change that here. Here we have this add task. So I gave myself a spraying task. If I open this up here, I can see more information about it. So it's planned. I haven't done it yet. It's a spraying task. I'm going to do it. I have the machine, how much I'm doing it on, how much area of the paddock I'm doing it on, and what product I need and the application rate. This nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, this will fill in as you do tasks, but more on that in a moment. If I do this, if I press this spraying, that'll take me here to this screen where I can make changes to the task here. If I want to make even more changes, this Manage Task button down here will take me to the Execute Tasks page where I can make changes. If I get rid of this, you'll see now this Add Tasks page. If I press that, that will take me to the Add Tasks page. I'll go up here. So that Manage Task takes me to the Execute Tasks page, and the Add Tasks obviously takes me to Add Tasks. Finally, I mentioned the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. So this gets filled in as you use eAgronom. So as you apply fertilizers and take soil samples, this will start to populate on its own. I can expand these, and it'll tell me what more information about the nitrogen and so forth, the soil fertility information. I'm not going to explain what these are. If you are a farmer, you know all about soil health, but you can scroll over these little tooltips if you have a question about any particular item here. The same is true with manure usage. If you use manure and log it in your eAgronom, this will come here. It'll tell you what has happened. The only thing that of these three, these soil health thing, fertilization, manure usage, and soil samples, what you actually put in here yourself is these soil samples. So when you go out and take a soil sample, just click on any of these and you can add that information here. You will probably, for this, be working with only the present season. You'll want to probably do soil samples every year. You can go past, present, future, only 2020 or 2020 future. That'll change, obviously. If you change the season, then these buttons will change. And you can choose which of these you want. As I say, probably you'll be doing once per year. And now finally, I will get to the merge, split, and edit shape functions. The reason that I'm saving these for last is because if I do any of these, it's going to get rid of the tasks and crops that I've selected. So if I split this paddock, the system will assume that I'm going to need new tasks for each of those new paddocks. So it's going to get rid of the ones that I set because I don't have that paddock anymore. I'm going to do these a bit out of order: edit shape, split, and merge. Basically just so that I can cover edit shape and then split and then merge it back together. If I want to edit the shape, press edit shape. It takes me to the same screen, but you'll see down here these white dots have appeared on my paddock around. Wherever there's a break in the line, wherever the line bends, there's a white dot. The way that I make the changes is by grabbing the white dot, holding, and dragging. So make it actually fit the shape of the paddock. If I want to move around, drag, and I can, by picking up these white dots, I'll make changes. Now you'll note that, so you might be a little bit difficult to see, between these two white dots, there's a little gray dot here. If I want to make my line more detailed, pick up the gray dot. And the gray dot, when I move it, will become a white dot, and then two more gray dots will appear on either side of it. And so I move the line by moving the white dots, and I make the line more detailed by moving the gray dots. If you can't see that on the recording here, you should be able to see it on your own account when you go in to try and do this. So moving the white dots make my line a little bit, reflect the geography a little bit more. Now, when I have done that, this area automatically gets recalculated. So you can see here there should be the new area here is 214.99. When I save this, this will change. If you know What the area is better, again, put it in here so that the system knows how to do the right calculations rather than the calculations that are based on the map, which may be slightly off. I can choose whether I want this to be for throughout or only for the season, etc. For this purpose of this demo, I'm going to do past, present, and future, but this will depend on what it is your plans are. Now, you should see that this line is a lot more detailed. It's a lot nicer there. If I want to split, so I'll press the split button and my splitting line here. So the way to draw the splitting line is to click anywhere outside of the paddock, one quick click, and then anywhere outside the paddock on the another side. So there, this red line appears. I can do this anywhere, so I can even just, if I want to just cut off a corner, I can do it like that. I can also, you see this reset splitting line, that's what I've clicked to make the line go away. I can also make clicks. There we go. By clicking around the paddock, I can make a more detailed line, should I want to. And then, of course, if exactly the way with the edit shape, if you see this gray dot has appeared, if I drag the gray dot, that will make my line more detailed. And every time I move a gray dot, it will give me 2 more new gray dots on either side of it. When I'm ready to draw my line, I'm happy with the line. Press next. And it'll take me to this page where I can indicate what information about my new paddocks I want. So as I say, this has gotten rid of the old tasks and crops because I don't have that paddock. I now have 2 paddocks, so I can choose a new crop if I want. I'm just going to leave it, decide later. The name is the original name of the paddock with -1, and then the next one is the same -2. So I can just leave that, that's fine. And then the number is the same. So the number -1 and the number -2. I'm going to make this one 14, and then this one I'll make 15. And the area, again, if you know better, put it in here. It won't change the shape of the map, but it will affect your calculations. I am happy. I'm going to press next. And again, we have this issue. I can choose what seasons I want to make this change to. For the purposes of the demo, I'm doing past, present, and future. This will depend on what your plans are. And now we should see this here, over here, where I used to have 1 paddock. I have this nicely split 2 paddocks. I'll merge them back together. If I select it, you'll see I can actually do that from here. I'm going to go back into this paddock details page just so that we always start from the same place. So 1 paddock, I press merge. And then I can select any number of paddocks actually that I want to merge. Zoom out a little bit. And I'll just click on this guy here. I can also do any number. Just by clicking, I can merge all of these. I don't want these, so I'm going to deselect them, but I am able to do that if I want. Just going to do these 2. Press next. And I have this, again, this edit data screen. So because I'm just making it back my regular East Square paddock, I'm going to get rid of this extra name here. The default name is the first name / the second name, the name of the second paddock. And then I'm going to just give it the regular number 14. And area, same note on area as always. Press next. Again, past, present, future for the purposes of this demo. And here we are. We can see that I have this nicely remerged East Square paddock, although you'll note that because I've made these changes, the crop has disappeared. And if I go in, you'll see that also my spraying task should be gone because I've changed the paddock, and so the system no longer recognizes the same tasks that I used to have. I hope that was helpful.